So I finally watched the last Jason movie, even though obviously there's two movies after this one, Jason X and the remake. I had watched them before I saw this one, and I guess this was a way to end the series. Not great. It's supposed to be the final Friday, just like what was it? The fourth movie was supposed to be the final Friday, and then they continued it anyway. Um, this movie tries to make the point that Jason can only be killed by a family member, when that is just not true unless you retcon the fourth movie. I'm not a huge Jason lore person. I'm not a huge fan of Jason in the first place. But in the fourth movie, he gets killed by, I believe his name's Tommy or something. Big fan favorite of the Jason series, but I think he's just fine. Played by, it's either Corey Haim or Corey Feldman. I always get them confused. I think it's Feldman, as a child with a bunch of machete chops to the head. And that does kill him. He stays dead for years because the next movie, they just put some other character, and he is now the villain, wearing a hockey mask, looking exactly like Jason, except he's not called Jason. Then, that got a lot of backlash, so they brought Jason back years later when the guy that killed him was an adult and decided that he had to make sure he was dead from PTSD, so he tried to dig him up and lightning brought him back to life. So he was legitimately killed. Sure, he came back, but he stayed dead for at least 20 something years. And the only reason he got brought back to life was because somebody tried to dig him up. So to say that the only person that can kill him is a family member just isn't true. Which, I don't hate it, but it's a little annoying that that's like a big plot point of this movie. Like, it's supposed to add up the stakes. Like, if this girl dies, nobody can kill Jason. So Jason Goes to Hell, it's kind of a misleading title. At least to me. From the sound of it, I thought Jason was actually going to go to hell at the beginning of the movie. Which they kind of set up. He gets blown up at the start of the movie and dies. So you think, oh yeah, he's going to be in hell for the majority of the movie, fighting off demons and shit and trying to get out of hell. No, they kind of mean it, where he gets killed at the end of the movie. And they tell him to go to hell at that point. Yeah, I also say it earlier when one girl dies while fighting Jason. It's just not a very fun movie, in my opinion. It's whatever, some pretty solid kills, storyline's fine. It's the most coherent one, I think, even though it's still not a very good one. Out of all the Jason movies, the bounty hunter guy, I really wish we knew why he knew so much about Jason. I did hear that the original script, it was supposed to be the guy that originally killed Jason, but that would, make it even more contradicting if he was here. Because he's killed Jason before. Why would he say that? Only family members can kill him. Is he secretly Jason's half-brother or some shit? It's just not a great movie. Not a great time. Decent kills. Very confusing. As you can see, that creature that is on the cover, that's actually Jason. Jason actually talks in this movie too, which leads to the most unbelievable scene of the movie. The bounty hunter guy's like, oh, there's two cops here. You can't trust them. They might be Jason now. But, seriously, every time Jason's controlled someone, he hasn't talked. And these two cops are talking. So you're like, well, obviously Jason's not them, right? She kills one of them, and so he's seemingly self-defense because she thinks that Jason's taken control of his body. But it turns out the other cop who talked was Jason. It's something else. I'm glad to be done with this series. I think it's severely overrated. I can see why people enjoy the films, but they're just not my thing. I don't get how they got as popular as they did. I feel like this should be what people consider Sleepaway Camp or Slumber Party Massacre. Just cheap slashers to have fun with. But it became a giant franchise that now hasn't had anything besides a video game that's also gone since 2009. That's all they've done. Just like how Freddy Krueger's kind of dead in the water after the remake. Meanwhile, series like Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Scream are still managing to keep going for now. And somewhat Chucky, but their recent show was canceled. But yeah, I'm done with this series, and I'm glad.